Hello! So this is Besiege, and today I'm going to be teaching you several different methods of steering. So the first one's the most obvious, and it's just the steering hinge block. You have to rotate it and place it like that. You can also change the rotation speed, but I'm not going to talk about that much because that's the most boring one here. This is a piston-powered steering system, which is the most common type. Not this kind, but just piston-powered in general. So to make this particular one, you're going to have to place, that's the wrong way, place hinges vertically like this, and then 2 motor wheels on either side, and then a ballast on both of those motor wheels. Now delete the outermost one of those. Make sure this one's going in the right direction so it actually moves. And brace it up. Make sure that you're bracing it to the hinges and not to this central ballast. Because if you brace it to the central ballast, it won't turn. So the next part is you have to put 2 more hinges here, and then you're going to want to go back like 6 blocks or so. In this example I did. Well, in this example I just moved it back using the advanced building. So you're going to want to have, I did it wrong. These ballasts should be closer to the middle. Now once you have those ballasts, focus on one of them and place a piston on it. Now you can press F to extend the piston. So 2 pistons, one of them extended. And now into the settings. So to contract this one is going to be the right arrow key, and you want to do it at 2 times speed. You can copy that setting and put it into this one across from it, the one that extends. And the same with this. So now if we start the I forgot to pin them. If we start the simulation, we now have these 2 things that extend. So now you place a hinge on either side here and brace it to these hinges that you placed earlier. And you have a completed piston steering system. Now here's the second type of piston steering system, which I much prefer. For this one, you will need advanced building tools. So first off, you need to place a piston on either side. Let me just remember which one is which. Okay. So for this one, let's say, just to make the wheel go in this direction, that's going to be left, and then this one is going to be right. So it goes like this. Now, if you connect those pistons together with a brace, they both move at once. Add a hinge there. Now this is the part that you need advanced building tools on for, because you need allow intersecting placement to be turned on, because otherwise you get an intersection warning. Put a hinge on the side of this hinge and also on the end of the piston. So now you can just connect those up with a brace. Now I should note, this will not work nearly as well. Well then, I stand corrected. That seems to be turning just as well as I thought. Just as well as the others, I mean. Now, if you want, you can also resize the hinges. But if you resize the hinges, you'll need to use the advanced building tools to move them forward. Because if they're right there, which is where if they're right there, which is the place they go when you put them there originally, then it just falls. So you have to move it 0.2 forward. You can change this, in case you didn't know, from 0.5 to 0.1. Now, when you brace those together, when it's shrunk, it's not going to work. So again, you have to use the advanced building tools. I move it by 2. I move it by 0.2 so that it connects, but you don't have to do it like that. Now this, stop selecting that. This is the next version. Now this is gyroscopic steering. And for this you're going to need the No Bounds mod. I just made a little car here because this is one of the 2 steering types in which there are no linkages. The wheels don't actually turn. So I have to make a little car to demonstrate that it actually does steer, even though you can't really see it. So using the No Bounds mod, you're going to want to set this to 5. You could set it to 10, but then it gets really crazy to control. Now when you press left, you see it goes left. Now that's actually incorrect, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So when this turns to the left, it will push the car to the right. So you're going to need to flip that. There you go. Now connect those diagonally. You could connect all 4 if you want, but then it's just a bit difficult to work with controls too well. I'm going to put some wheels on this. Now, I have this one. These 2 are identical, by the way. Oh, no they aren't. This part isn't really important unless you have your steering set higher than 5. I had it set to 10 when I first built the car. So I had to brace this all up to keep it from breaking. But as you can see, I can drive this car perfectly well. It pushes it in the opposite direction. Here's another piston-powered thing. Now this is used more in like tractors and construction equipment in real life. And this is the method of the central hinge. This is too high up. Can't see what's happening. I'm going to move it in between there. So, for this one, you need a vertical hinge, and then you need to somehow push on either side of the hinge. Now, of course, the best way to do that is by using pistons, because, yeah, that's how pistons are designed for that. Hinges here, hinges here. Now, for these, we're using the same technique that we used for this. One piston pre-extended and one piston contracted. Got ourselves some pistons. I put that in completely the wrong place. Now brace that. And now of course you need to actually change the settings. So this one, you have to, it has to contract when you press right. Now again, you can copy those settings and paste them into the one diagonally across from it. So here you go, a completed central hinge linkage. And you don't actually need this hinge at all. You can, you do need that though. You don't need the hinge. You can simply remove it. But an unintended side effect of removing the hinge entirely is it gets very squirrely. So all you have to do to fix that is replace those rear hinges with ballasts. Now this one is useful in a slightly different way, because instead of pivoting around the hinge like this one, it pivots around this block. Here's the final steering system that I have for you today. This one uses differential thrust. Now this one, aside from this one, which is my least favorite of all because it doesn't return to center, this one is the simplest. All you have to do, I'm just going to make my little car again. For this one, all you have to do is put 4 small wheels like that. So I'm building sideways in the barren expanse. Forwards is in that direction. So it automatically puts it at an angle I can't think. It automatically places the wheel in such a way that it's rotating flipped. So you can see they're going the same direction. But if I put wheels here, crap, it looks flipped, but it's really going the same direction, as you can see. Now, I've just wasted way too much time trying to tell you, make sure these wheels actually turn in opposite directions. Like that. Now set the speed to 2, forwards, left and reverse right. Copy that and put it on all of these wheels. And there you go. But we're not done yet. We still need forwards and backwards. And that one's very simple. Just 4 big wheels on top of the small wheels. And make sure they all go in the same direction. Like that. So now this side will go backwards when you turn, or it will go at 3 times speed if you turn the other way. And that is all the steering systems I have for you today.